I can hear both Kaido and Nikki downstairs. Does she not work today? I've barely seen Nikki since she started working at the restaurant, and although I didn't have classes this week, I was still busy with school. Maybe we can catch up today. As soon as I head downstairs, Kaido and Nikki greet me with matching grins. It's like they were waiting for me. I have a bad feeling about this.
Hey, bud. Sleep well last night?
Yeah, thanks.
That's good. Feeling well rested?
Yes.
Great.
Their smiles don't budge. What's going on?
Oh, nothing. We just had a small favor to ask.
Yeah, so small, just teeny tiny.
That doesn't sound promising. What is it?
We're a little understaffed at one of our restaurants. More specifically, the one Nikki works at.
Nikki nods.
We were hoping you could come and help out.
Really? That's it? I guess I could help. I don't have any other plans right now. Kaido burst into a big grin.
Perfect! He said yes!
You can't back out now.
What? Kaido races towards the door.
I'll be in the car. Come out when you guys are ready!
He disappears, leaving a nervous-looking Nikki. What did he mean by ready?
Don't worry about it.
Mascot, I'm guessing? I narrow my eyes. Nikki?
It's nothing. The restaurant's just doing a theme today.
Oh no. Any theme is bound to be bad. What kind of theme?
One of maids in a cafe.
Maid cafe? She slides to the side and reveals a neatly pressed butler costume. No. Not happening. Wordlessly, I turn around and head back up the stairs.
Hey! Where do you think you're going?
Somewhere that's not a maid cafe. She frowns.
Really?
Yes, really.
Okay.
Wow, she gave up kind of easy there. Wait, that was too easy. Nikki looks down. Oh no, not this.
I just thought that you'd want to spend some time with me.
Common misconception.
And it's just a tiny request.
It's gonna take 8 hours.
But if you can't, it's okay, you can't.
At least she understands. Quick, get up the stairs. She ends with a series of sniffles. Woman tears, my only weakness, other than kryptonite. Fine, I'll go. Nikki immediately perks up.
Okay, good. Hurry up and get dressed.
She grins and starts fussing with the outfits. How can she do that so convincingly? Oh well, I guess there's no turning back now. I grab the outfit, then head to my room and get changed. Once I'm done, I look in the mirror. It might not be my first choice in outfit, but I still look pretty damn good. Nikki is waiting for me downstairs, dressed in her maid outfit.
Ooh, looking sharp, big bro.
Thanks, you're not looking too bad yourself. Nikki grins.
Let's not keep Kaito waiting any longer.
I nod and we both head out. As soon as I step into the car, Kaito's eyes widen and he chokes back a laugh.
That's a good look for you.
What a guy. Where's your costume, Uncle? His laugh fills the car.
Oh no, I'm not working. I'm just the chauffeur.
Too bad. I bet you would have been a hit.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
As soon as we arrive, Kaito waves goodbye and I follow Nikki in. Nikki introduces me to all of her colleagues, and they greet me with pleasant smiles. Everyone else is dressed up as well, which is comforting. Part of me is worried that this is all an elaborate hoax. The head butler gives me a rundown of the basics and how to act. I'm reminded of my high school days when I waited tables. It's pretty much the same thing, but with a whole lot more Miss and Sir strewn in.
You all good?
Nikki pokes her head in our room just so we finish the training. Yep. She smirks.
This is going to be so much fun.
Says you. She grabs my hand and we head out onto the floor. It's a little daunting at first, but the customers are all thrilled and it's not long before I get into character. This is a lot more fun than I originally thought. Lies. This is the first time I've seen Nikki at work. She flits from table to table, charming everyone she meets. Most of the regulars request to be placed in her section and are even willing to wait until her tables are free. I've even had a few of my tables ask if she'd come over so they could meet her. Whenever that happens, Nikki would happily oblige and shoot me a smug grin. Oh, it's on now. I won't be beaten so easily. I up my butler game, something I never thought I'd ever have to do, and step up to the plate. At least now my customers aren't requesting for Nikki anymore. Ha! As the cafe fills up and we're getting loaded with people, we somehow both end up at the same table. How can I serve you today?
It would be my honor to serve you today.
Shut up and go away. She shoots them big doe eyes and an endearing smile. Curses. In a battle of adorableness, I would never win. It would seem that you're already in good hands. My apologies. I bow. The customers look at me with interest.
Oh my, what a gentleman.
Nikki gives me a dirty look when the table isn't paying attention, then looks apologetic.
I'm so sorry. You were here first.
Thanks, no scram. She pouts.
Please forgive me.
She's adorable.
I'm losing them. No, it's okay. I insist. Your care and attention is at a level I strive to achieve.
You're too humble. Your ability to predict a customer's needs is commendable.
Oh my goodness, what a cute couple.
Couple?
Couple?
Hold on. I think you have the wrong idea. Nikki, you finally did it! I knew it. Even other people can see it.
Nikki's eyes widen as her two friends skip over. Are they stalking me?
You guys, what are you doing here?
Nikki's friends look at each other, then giggle.
It was only a matter of time before they kindled their relationship. I'm so happy for you two.
They really are lovely together.
Their outbursts catch the attention of other restaurant patrons, and soon everyone is making comments about the lovely couple.
Wait, you guys have it all wrong!
Yeah, we're actually brother and sister. The cafe goes silent.
Wait, despite being siblings, they are true to their hearts?
It's even more romantic than I thought.
So cute!
The crowd looks at each other and starts clapping and cheering.
No! Oh, he's my brother! We're not in that kind of relationship! This isn't an anime! These things don't happen!
She points at me.
I do love my brother.
The crowd cheers again.
No! Let me finish! I love my brother as my brother! But what you guys are trying to hint at will never, ever be a thing!
Nikki huffs and crosses her arms. Her message comes across loud and clear.
What about his DLC?
No!
Despite the little bump in the day, the rest of the shift goes well. A lot of people would pull me aside and repeat, I'm sorry she doesn't feel the same. Unrequited love can be so tough. Whatever that means. So the good news is that's a pretty good ploy to get tips, so I should have made out like a bandit there. As we wait for the bus home, Nikki makes me promise never to speak of this day again. I am all too happy to agree. But otherwise, in case you were wondering, the playthrough I did was Nikki's route. So that's what culminated in these events. I think we still have it anyway, but the events play out a little bit differently because I didn't have any of the other girls. Nikki's route is the default one, in case you're wondering. If you don't go for any of the other girls, you wind up with her. When we arrive home, Yuki and Kaido are sitting on the couch, huddled beneath a blanket. As soon as Kaido sees me, he grins.
How was your day, bud?
Shut up. I hate you. Yuki and Kaido burst out laughing.
Oh, it couldn't have been all bad.
You guys hungry? I can whip something up.
Sure.
We can't say no to Aunt Yuki's delicious cooking.
Aw, thank you.
Kaido furrows his brows and is just about to speak when Nikki chimes in immediately.
Ordering takeout is not cooking.
Kaido laughs, then grins.
Well, someone had to cook it.
Nikki and Yuki both sigh.
You're hopeless.
You're hopeless.
Whoa. That was scarily in sync. They blink at each other, then laugh as Kaido and I join in. Aunt Yuki and Nikki head into the kitchen together. And the thing is, those audio clips should not have actually been that difficult to splice together into one little clip. I just don't know why the devs didn't do it. I even have the means to do that, so I know it's not that difficult, and I'm using cheap stuff. I offer to help out, but they both respond with a firm no. I can tell when I'm not wanted. Uncle Kaido and I hang out together until it's time for dinner. After an amazing meal, we settle down and Nikki suggests another family movie night. With everyone's busy schedules, it's rare for all of us to spend the evening together. Still, I hope this will become a more frequent thing. We stay up way past our bedtimes watching movies, and Kaito falls asleep on the couch. As we giggle at his snores, we all decide it's time to go to bed. I return to my room and easily fall asleep. And since it's only been 10 minutes, yes, we're gonna go another day. The morning sun gently pulls me out of sleep. I yawn and stretch, feeling fully rested. After my roller coaster of a day, actually, make that a roller coaster of a week, I'm just happy to finally have a day to relax. I take my time getting out of bed. When I check the time, I realize it's already past noon. Good thing there's nowhere I need to be. Shrugging it off, I get lost in the deep recesses of the internet. Before I know it, the day has passed. Doing nothing can sure be exhausting. As I'm about to go into the kitchen to grab a snack, my phone rings. It's a call from Nikki. Now that I think about it, I haven't seen her all day. Of course I answer. Hello?
Thank God you're home.
She speaks quickly and seems almost out of breath.
Can you pick me up from the bookstore?
Her voice is garbled and I can hardly make out what she's saying. What? She pauses and there's a lot of movement on the phone before she speaks again.
Please, can you get me?
Where are you?
At the bookstore.
Her voice is clear, but she sounds scared. Something doesn't seem right. Alright, I'll be there in a few minutes. Nikki sighs in relief.
Thanks.
We hang up the phone and I hurry to my bike. Nikki would tell me if she were in danger. Wouldn't she? I try not to dwell on the thought, but pick up speed anyway. Luckily, traffic is on my side and I arrive a few minutes earlier than anticipated. Nikki waits for me beneath a street lamp a few feet away from the bus stop. I can make out Ken's dark mop of hair beside her. It's a little strange that she's not under the boss awning, but what's Ken doing there? Nikki straightens up as I slow down. Flecks of blood stain her clothes and dark bruises mark her skin. Ken steps into the light to greet me and I wince when I see him. His left eye and cheek is puffy and starting to turn purple. Blood drips down his face from a cut at his temple. He must have tried to clean it because his forehead is smeared with streaks of red. What the hell happened here? I park my bike and rush over to them. Nikki throws her arms around me and hugs me tightly.
So glad you're here.
Oh my god, Nikki, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
What did you do to Ken? You're bleeding.
No, the blood's not mine.
You're a scrapper, aren't you? Is it Ken's?
No.
You look like hell. He tries to smile, then dabs at his swollen lip, his finger now stained with fresh blood. He holds himself stiffly and leans on the lamppost for support.
He saved me from those guys.
What guys?
I don't know. There was a group of them. 3, I think, waiting for the bus. And when they showed up, they started saying all these things about me. They were being so gross and creepy, but I tried to ignore them because I figured the bus would be there soon and it wouldn't matter. And then one of the guys tried to put his arm around me. Freaked out. I guess I pushed him and he got really angry. And then the other guy grabbed me and...
My blood runs cold. He what? Did he hit you? Are you hurt?
No!
Nikki's voice trembles and her eyes glitter with tears. I'm about to pull her back into a hug when Ken slips his hand into hers and squeezes.
Ken intervened before anything could have happened.
She glances at Ken, smiling broadly.
He came barreling out of the bookstore, screaming at that guy to let me go. And then he punched him right in the face. The guy was super angry, and he and his friends ganged up on him.
How did you get your bruises then? She frowns.
I tried to stop them from ganging up on Ken.
You what? What were you thinking joining the fight? You could have been seriously injured. Nikki sets her jaw.
There was no way I was going to let Ken fight them alone. Especially not when this fight only happened because of me.
I'm too stunned by her outburst to reply. Of course, I'm not pleased that she had put herself in danger, but a part of me is also a little proud.
But I didn't really need to help.
I raise an eyebrow.
Ken beat two of them up by himself. The third one had to help them up so they could escape.
What? I look skeptically at Ken. I wouldn't say he's scrawny, but he's no muscle man either. Ken shifts nervously. I think I still make him uncomfortable.
I have some experience with martial arts.
What do you mean, some experience? You're a second dan black belt!
He's a what? I certainly was not expecting that. You threw yourself in harm's way to protect Nikki.
Of course.
Ken maintains eye contact and answers with conviction. Nikki blushes.
Anyway, I told Ken he should go back inside, but he refused.
It's not safe for her to wait alone.
I take another look at Ken. I should have been here. I'm glad that someone was there for her, but I can't stop that nagging feeling that I failed my sister. I didn't even know she was in town today. Ken was here for Nikki when I wasn't. I can't ignore that. Maybe he's not as bad as I thought. I'm sorry, Nikki. I should have been there for you, but I'm glad that Ken was. I look him in the eyes. Thank you. He blinks in surprise but nods, then winces in pain. Are you sure you're okay, though? Maybe we should take you to the hospital. He shakes his head.
I'm fine. Nothing's broken.
I look him over. I don't know about that.
I told him we should call an ambulance, but he refused.
I promise, I'm okay. I'm sorry for causing you such trouble.
We can look for one of those PM vets. He might want that instead. This is one of those rare times I wish I could fit more people on my bike. Do you at least have a ride home?
He let me call his brother to come pick him up.
We'll wait here with you until he arrives.
I appreciate the thought, but I would feel more at ease if you took Nikki home.
Nikki shakes her head.
What if they come back?
I know my brother will be here in a few minutes.
I can afford to wait a few minutes.
Me too.
I glance at the dimly lit bookstore. Is the bookstore still open? Maybe we can wait inside there.
They're probably in the middle of closing.
I'm sure your coworkers will let you back in. They're probably wondering what happened to you anyway.
You work there? Ken nods. Then let's definitely get you back inside. Realizing he's fighting a losing battle, Ken agrees.
Okay.
Nikki and I go to support him, but he manages to walk by himself. As we head into the bookstore, his co-workers rush out to help, each asking questions about what happened. Nikki and I sit with Ken as we wait for his brother to arrive. Nikki fusses over Ken and he lets her. As I watch the two of them, I pay close attention to Ken. He's calm, respectful, and polite. But most importantly, he makes Nikki smile. I'm not convinced. Just because Ken has top grades, an impeccable work ethic, and sense of responsibility, and more discipline than guys my age, doesn't mean he's right for Nikki. He'll have to do more than that to impress me. We wait a little while until Ken's brother shows up. He convinces Ken to go to the hospital and thanks us for our help. With Ken safe, we head home. Nikki lets out a huge breath when we step into the living room. Her face is unusually serious. She hangs her head and stares at her feet.
I'm so sorry.
Why?
If I hadn't gone to visit Ken, I wouldn't have lost track of time and stayed out so late, and then I wouldn't have gotten into this mess and made everyone worry.
Nikki, what happened wasn't your fault. She glances up at me.
But if I...
No, none of this is your fault. What happened is the fault of those guys, and if I ever find out who they are, I'm going to finish what Ken started. Nikki smiles weakly and nods.
I think I'll go take a shower.
Sure. As soon as Nikki goes upstairs, Kaido pops his head out of the kitchen.
Is Nikki gone?
Yeah. He pauses and gives me another look.
Did something happen?
I debate telling Kaido about the incident, but I don't want him to needlessly worry. He looks like he has something else on his mind. It's fine. What's up?
I heard back from the PI.
What did he say?
Ezra Wilson.
The drunk driver?
Yeah. What do you really know about him?
He and Dad used to work together at Midori Energy. They were on every project together, and he used to come to the house all the time while we were growing up. I thought he and Dad were friends. My voice trails off. His blood alcohol level was far over the legal limit. It's not like the cops could ask him about it due to his coma, nor was there any evidence which indicated this was more than a cut-and-dry drunk driving incident. There was no incentive to investigate further, so that was all that was listed in the report.
Well, it turns out Ezra was stalking your father.
I frowned. That doesn't make sense. They saw each other every day at work. Why?
The PI read about a huge fire at Midori Energy the week before your parents' accident. He spoke to a few people and found out that the fire destroyed important documents which contained all the research from Midori's latest project.
I racked my brain. I think I might remember hearing something about that fire.
The documents which were destroyed was your father's and Ezra's research.
Dad's research? I tried to recall Dad right before the accident. He seemed a little more worried than usual, but otherwise didn't give any indication that something was amiss. Shouldn't he have been devastated by something like losing years of research? Was he trying to protect me, or was something else going on?
Ezra didn't take the loss well. Right after the fire, Ezra accused your father of purposely sabotaging him by setting their research on fire.
Dad wouldn't do that. It was his research, too.
Right. It didn't make sense. Nobody believed him and they chalked up his breakdown to stress. But he wouldn't let it go. He accosted your father many times at work demanding answers. It got so bad that he was assigned a leave of absence by the company. On the day of the accident, your parents had lunch at a cafe.
Nikki called them asking for a ride. Yeah, I remember.
The PI asked the waitstaff if they remembered seeing your parents there, and they did. Ezra too.
He was there?
Yeah, he'd followed them there and was already clearly intoxicated. He demanded that they pay him all the money he would have made upon completion of the project.
You said your father owed him.
Obviously, your father refused and continually maintained his innocence. Ezra became so disruptive, the manager had to forcibly remove him from the cafe.
Your parents seemed shaken, but tried to finish their meals as if nothing happened.
That's when they received the call from Nikki.
And I guess Ezra tried to tail them, but ended up running them off the road. Kaido nods, looking more grim than ever. Something doesn't add up. What research is important enough to kill over? And if Ezra was driven to madness after losing his life's work, why was Dad barely affected? Then there's the convenient timing of Akira's copycat core. How much time has passed since the accident? Since the fire? Enough for the company to piece together just enough of the research to turn a profit. Uncle Kaido? He looks at me. I think the research that killed Dad has to do with my core. He hesitates, then nods slowly.
You might be right.
Wasn't there an encrypted piece that Valerie wasn't able to unlock? Maybe that could help make sense of all this. I need to take another look at it. I need to go look at my core. Uncle Kaido doesn't try to stop me.
You do what you need to do.
Just be safe. Thanks, Uncle Kaido. For the second time today, I race to the garage and hop on my bike, then I drive to A's. The campus feels even more empty than usual. Even though it's after hours, I have no trouble swiping into the hangar. All is quiet except for the sound of my footsteps. I cannot get to Eagle fast enough. As soon as I do, I plop down at the terminal and boot up the computer. I follow the instructions Valerie left for me, and I'm greeted by the password prompting screen she showed me earlier. She said there was a hint here. Let's see what it says. The screen is a scrambled mess of words with no rhyme or reason to them. I read through a couple of times, making sure my eyes didn't skip any words. Most of these words mean nothing to me, but a select few stand out. Cricket, Moo, Sir Hopsalot. Those were childhood nicknames Dad gave me. Each one of them has a story, but none of them were very long-lived. The ultimate nickname that stuck with me for an embarrassing long time was Meatball, because when I was born my cheeks were big and round like meatballs. Dad's favorite story to tell was the time I started school. The teacher called Hero for roll call, and I stayed silent so she marked me absent. After she'd gone through the list of names, I said she didn't call mine. She asked if my name was Hero, and I responded with, "No, my name is Meatball." I've been called Meatball at home for so long that I didn't even know my real name. That must be the answer. I apprehensively type in Meatball into the password prompt. My finger hovers over the enter key before pressing it. The prompt disappears and a video pops up on the screen. My breath catches in my throat as Dad looks straight into the camera. There are dark circles under his eyes and worry lines around his mouth. His hair sticks up at odd angles and his clothes are smudged with dirt and oil. He notices the recording light is on and tries to fix himself up a bit before giving me a weak smile.
The fact that you are watching this now means something must have gone wrong.
He sighs and his voice grows thick.
I'm sorry.
I try to swallow the lump in my throat and ignore the sting of tears in my eyes. This isn't the Dad I remember. The Dad I remember had a booming laugh which took up the room. He was sure of himself and never had regrets.
By putting this technology in Eagle, I have potentially endangered you. But I don't know where else I can keep it safe. Midori Energy doesn't fully understand the scope of this research. They're willing to sell it to anyone without considering the consequences. Companies which would weaponize this technology will cause irreparable damage. They could create energy explosions 13 times the force of a nuclear bomb.
He sets his jaw and lifts his gaze back towards the camera. His eyes are unusually steely and cold.
That's why I caused the fire. I burned all copies of my research to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands.
But Dad runs his hands through his hair, a gesture he would do whenever he was stressed or worried.
It's hard to completely destroy 20 years of research. Especially when this technology could bring so much good. The possibilities would have been endless. This new format of energy may function similarly to existing methods, but the fundamental principles are vastly different and have far wider scalability implications.
A shadow of his old self returns while he talks, and I catch a glimpse of a genuine smile. Dad was always a bit of a dreamer. Then his face becomes grim.
And that is why this core is sitting in Eagle now.
His piercing gaze stares straight into my soul.
I'm sorry for getting you involved. I'm sorry I couldn't follow through with what I started. But most of all, I'm sorry I wasn't able to tell you this in person.
His eyes look glassy and glitter too much beneath the light.
I probably don't say this enough, but I'm so proud of who you've grown up to be. I know, if you're watching this, that I've put a heavy burden on your shoulders, but I trust you will make the right decision. My only hope is that you can find it in your heart to forgive me.
Dad glances behind him. Something must have spooked him because when he faces the camera again, he smiles feebly and his voice is quiet.
Take care of your sister. Goodbye, son.
The video cuts off abruptly. At first, I'm too stunned to move. The image of Dad is seared into my eyes. He was the same, yet so unfamiliar. As his face slowly fades away, I'm surprised to feel wetness on my cheeks. He knew. He knew exactly what he was doing when he hid this technology inside of Eagle. And now I understand why I wasn't allowed to help program the core. I understand why Dad seemed almost obsessive about completing Eagle. It also makes sense why I never noticed the difference between this core and any other core. Dad had never matured the technology. But he must have set up the Overdrive configuration probably not long before he set the Overdrive to only happen once, so I'd begin to search for answers. His last words ring in my mind. Goodbye, son. He knew the implications of his research and entrusted it all to me through the gear we built together. I glance over at Eagle, partially obscured by shadows. The darkened blue no longer seems warm and inviting like the salty spray of the ocean, but feels dangerous and cold like a winter sky. I try to bring up the video once more so I can hear his voice one more time. See his face even though it's not the one I want to remember. But I can't. It was a one-time initiation. As I try to process the situation, I don't know what to feel. I recall Dad's hollow cheeks, and the shadow of pain in his eyes. Of one thing I am certain. I cannot keep using the core knowing all this. But what will I do about the research? Sometimes Dad thought too much about the big picture and forgot about the details. He wanted to create a better future for us, and was willing to die to make his dreams a reality. If only he could have seen that future, the future he wanted was one with him in it. I don't want Dad's sacrifice to have been in vain. I want him to achieve his dream. I climb up the ladder beside Eagle and open the cockpit. Then I key in the sequence which unlocks the panel protecting my core. Like a beating heart, it gives off a faint pulse of energy. I open the terminal screen in my cockpit and find the source information for my core. After collecting all the schematics and data into a drive, I set an impossible run instance. The low glow continues to brighten more and more. After a zapping noise, it becomes an opaque object. As far as anyone would know, the core short-circuited. This technology belongs with a company who will utilize it properly. Until I know who that is, I'll keep it safe with me and not bring any more attention to it. After learning all that I have, I can't keep using it as a leg up against the competition. Eagle will use a regular core from now on. As I stand there, I suddenly feel so tired and so lost. Without thinking, I pull out my phone and dial the first name that comes to mind.
Broseph, how's it hanging?
Do you think we could meet?
Oh, sure.
He sounds surprised.
Any place you have in mind?
Where are you now? I can meet you.
I'm just chilling in my room. Come on over.
Thanks. I'll see you soon. We hang up the phone. As if in a daze, I make my way towards his dorm. Sho greets me with a wide smile, but it drops as soon as he sees my face. He quickly ushers me in. I half-heartedly greet any of his dorm mates we pass before we settle into Sho's room. I sit at his desk while Sho flops onto his bed.
What's going on? You seem tense.
I unconsciously start to play with the drive in my hands.
What's that?
It's my core. He blinks and laughs.
Very funny, but seriously, what is it?
The data from my core. Sho frowns.
What's it doing in there?
I didn't know where else to put it.
You could have left it in Eagle.
I sigh and share with Sho all that I've learned. My story comes out in pieces, and Sho continually asks questions to help him understand the order of events. Eventually, I finished my story.
Damn, that's intense.
I know. I'm not sure if I did the right thing. I acted emotionally, and maybe I should have taken the time to really think things through.
No way. You were right to do what you did.
You think so?
Without a doubt.
I let out the breath I hadn't realized I'd been holding. A huge weight lifts off my shoulder. I hadn't realized how anxious I was about this decision until someone else validated my choice.
Your dad might not have been able to make the decision himself, but he was right to trust you. You're like the most logical guy I know.
I grin weakly. Considering your version of logic, that's not too difficult to achieve.
Hey!
He matches my grin.
How are you doing otherwise?
It still sucks. I keep wondering about what could have happened.
I know it's easier said than done, but you've got to let it go. Once you give in to the what-ifs, it's really hard to pull yourself back out. You end up obsessed. You don't even realize what you're doing until it's too late and life passes you by.
He shakes his head.
Then you would have just wasted the life your father fought so hard to give you.
He's right. Wondering about the impossible will only bring more heartache. I need to accept what's happened, take what I've learned, and move on. I nod. You're right. I can't let what I've learned bring me down. I'm lucky to have a friend who'll always have my back. In this moment, I have clarity. I don't need to focus on the past because my future is worth exploring, and my friends will be with me every step of the way. So check out the two producers here. Then I don't know if there are actually any uses of Dishu, Rishu, or Mach Cloud. I'm guessing this is concept art we're seeing right here. Everyone's favorite stalker. Here you can see the voice actors, well, actors and mostly actresses. Huh, Amanda Lee played May. Otherwise, yeah, I don't really recognize too many of the other names, I'm afraid. Yeah, I don't. Pixel faders, I guess are the Kickstarters, maybe? I'm not even sure if this was a Kickstarter game or not. Actually, this might be the various Patreon levels, because I know there was a Patreon. So yeah, a lot of this I don't think made it into the game. Even if I did their various routes, I don't think we're going to see Kaori in a pirate costume. We've seen Nikki in her uniforms periodically, so that wouldn't be too far-fetched. And there aren't too many level 2s now that I noticed. I don't think we ever saw Kaori in her cockpit. I don't think we ever saw Valerie sleeping. Okay, that's a little weird. How to draw manga. Thank you for playing Ace. We hope you enjoyed it. We'd love to hear and incorporate player feedback into future projects, so please feel free to let us know your thoughts on the discussion boards or in a Steam review. With that formality out of the way, what a ride it's been. For our original supports, thank you so much for sticking with us. For new players, welcome to the Pixel Fade family. While the adventure of Ace stops here for now, Pixel Fade is always exploring new options. Feel free to check out what we're up to at pixelfade.com. Thanks again. Okay, we're getting anything other than a black screen here? Still here? There's nothing else. This isn't a Marvel movie where you get a special hidden teaser. I get the feeling I just set an expectation that we will have to do something after all this text. Look, I got nothing, so stop trying, okay? Just press escape or right-click that mouse button and be on your merry way. Really? Still here? Okay, maybe I might have something to share. Are you ready? Here goes. Sorry, that's not actually a thing. Though I will say that mock reveal somehow ended up looking pretty cool. For realsies though, we are excited about the next visual novel currently in development. Check out Pixel Fadery for details. Thanks again for playing. Goodbye. The game ends here for real? Hold on, Pixel Fade. Did you really just end the game like that? Yes. No, not acceptable. We're sorry. Ace is a crowd-funded project. We did our best given our resources. Actually, the length ended up almost twice as long than we had initially planned. We stretched out as long as we could. So if you had more resources, I could have had a longer game? Indeed. As an indie team, your support will directly impact the scope of our projects, including the future ones. Alright, I'm moderately interested. How do I help? And there's their Patreon. Okay, I was wondering if I could at least get the link to pop up here. We can probably find them just by searching Pixel Fade on Patreon. Alternatively, we'll be crowdfunding our next project in the near future. Please consider pledging then. Thanks for the info. No problem, hero. Thanks for your consideration and understanding. Have a great day. So yeah, there is information on their Patreon about the upcoming game. I don't know the details about it or anything. I just know it exists. But otherwise, as you can see here, there's still a lot of CGs that we need to get. We actually have all of them on page 2 and 3. But some of these are unlocked as you do the various girls' routes. As pages 7 and 8 are completely blank. I have a feeling it's probably a lot of Mayu events, maybe a few Kaori too, since I really didn't spend time with them. But if you want to unlock them all, you can. It's just going to take a lot of playthroughs, and I know what you guys are probably thinking, but yes, I will do following playthroughs. I don't know exactly the form that these are going to take. I might try to mix it up a little bit. I also don't know the order of the girls just yet. Since this will be going up on Sunday, we'll have a week to potentially discuss it for those of you that are interested in seeing the other things. It's just a little disappointing that I'm going to be doing the replay of this while I'm doing the replay of Legend of Heroes, and potentially trying to squeeze in time for Civilization and other stuff. But we'll see how it plays out. Give me your thoughts. I'm the Hero of Light. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.